In today's video, we will give you insights as to why Ethereum is more profitable than Bitcoin and where should you invest. Ethereum, the second largest coin by market capitalization, hit an all-time high of $4,200 and was last up to around 5.2%, $4,133.4. The myriad possibilities of decentralized ledger technologies should be likened to a technological force of nature that will continue to disrupt finance and other businesses, said Paulo Ardoino, Chief Technology Officer of cryptocurrency exchange Bitfinex. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, The Crypto King. Here you will get the latest cryptocurrency news, all investing information in crypto, and how to earn money from crypto. If you are new here, please like and subscribe to get everything you need to know about cryptocurrencies. Don't forget to click the bell icons so you get notified every time we upload a new video. So, let's get started. Before we start, listen to this. This is the first-person account of Dan Conway, an ex-middle manager in corporate America who made a fortune betting his life savings on cryptocurrency. On a gray morning in May 2016, I left my office in downtown San Francisco and walked down Montgomery Street to Wells Fargo. Certainly, she said. How much will you be sending today, Mr. Conway? My voice sped up as I said it, $100K. This represented my family's entire savings. It was money my wife and I planned to use to pay for our 3 kids' college tuitions, our eventual retirement, and emergency expenses. I was a middle-aged guy with a family who had never been on the cutting edge of anything. But I was about to bet everything I had on an unproven virtual currency called Ethereum. That winter, I borrowed $200K on my home and used it to buy more Ethereum. Now, I own 26,750 Ethereum in total at an average buy-in of $11.21 per coin. Then something miraculous happened. It kept going up and up and up. Between February and March of 2017, Ethereum shot from $15 to $50 per coin. By April, it was at $70. By May, $230. In a span of 4 months, my $300K investment ballooned to $6 million. See? Dan gambled all his fortune for Ethereum, and what a fortune! Take action now. Tomorrow, we'll be telling your story. Now to our topic. Below are some reasons as to why Ethereum is profitable than Bitcoin. A similar way of work like BTC, but economical when it comes to energy consumption. Most of the crypto enthusiasts know how the blockchain works due to the huge interest in Bitcoins. But what if we tell you that Ethereum is very similar and you can easily adapt to it? As we said, the main difference is that Ethereum is not that energy consuming, so you make a bigger profit mining it. Many investors prefer the blockchain strategy instead of every other because it's exciting and challenging and gives a lot of chances for fast transactions. As time goes by, the developers make some improvements and upgrades, and you can be sure they are following the current trends and technologies, keeping this currency more and more attractive for the miners. A lot of people claim they own huge amounts of ethers and they only wait for the right time to make some profit from it. Ethereum is more diversified than Bitcoin. I do believe the potential upside on Ethereum tends to be a bit greater from its utility, functionality, and ecosystem. Voyager's customers who own both Bitcoin and Ethereum have shifted their currency allocations in the past few months to increase their Ethereum holdings, on which they can earn 5.25% interest APR. We are also seeing our larger investors more comfortable taking on Ethereum's risk and reward profile. The Ethereum blockchain powers the most established ecosystem for decentralized finance, utility tokens, and NFTs, all of which are gaining mainstream tractions. Ethereum also to be soon undergoing an upgrade that will accelerate the speed of Ethereum transactions, reduce transaction fees, and restrict its circulating supply. Steve Ehrlich, CEO and founder of crypto asset broker Voyager Digital. It is being embraced by more institutions. The latest surge comes after reports that the European Investment Bank plans to issue its first ever digital bond sale on Ethereum blockchain network. The sale will be led by Goldman Sachs, Banco Santander, and Societe Generale, Bloomberg reported. At the same time, the supply of Ethereum has been dropping as demand increases, driving prices higher. And businesses including MasterCard, UBS, and JP Morgan have been investing in startups that revolve around Ethereum. More stable price ups and downs. We can't expect the price to rise over the night, since it needs more work for that. But in the next few years, the predictions are that Ethereum will be more stable. So if you have some savings, you don't risk a lot, because the price rates are much lower compared to BTC. And there are no huge fluctuations, so if the situation in the months that come, you won't face large gains or losses, but still will have an option to make some profit from trading with Ethers. Right now, Bitcoin's price is something below $60,000, and that's great. Keeping in mind that only a year ago the situation was very bad and the price was less than $10,000. The world wasn't ready for the huge pandemic, and it affected every possible market, including cryptocurrencies. But on the other hand, it created ideal conditions for some cryptos to show that they are potentially the next most profitable currency. The birth of DeFi and NFTs boosted its acceptance and popularity, and you need Ethereum to buy things on Ethereum network. According to the Wall Street Journal, more than 7 million new accounts that hold Ethereum balances were created in the first 4 months of 2021, bringing the total up to more than 55 million. And transactions totaled $1.5 trillion in the first quarter, more than the previous 7 quarters combined. There are a lot of stuffs going on behind the scenes in decentralized finance DeFi that could prove to be transformational in the years ahead. But the use case most non-crypto people would be familiar with are non-fungible tokens or NFTs. Smart contracts are simply code that is stored on the blockchain. Now, blockchains themselves are essentially worthless, but NFTs provide a unique ID for a piece of digital art that can have its own rules for transferring ownership. So, you could write into a smart contract for a digital piece of art being sold as an NFT that the original artist earns a certain percentage of any future sales of his or her creation. This is a huge leap forward for creators. That's all for today. If you have any question regarding crypto, do not hesitate to reach out to us in the comment section. To continue enjoying more of our crypto videos, kindly subscribe to our channel. Do us a favor by liking, commenting, and sharing our content with friends or across social media channels.